Hi there, everyone that's come online tonight, and thank you so much for being here. I'll be your main host for tonight, but I'm also joined by the beautiful Petra and Chelsea, who you can see here on screen. And we have been running these beautiful workshops that are called Freedom with Frequency, which is really fun because we use our Healys every single day. So we're pretty excited now to share that with all of you. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep just a little bit of a blurb about Healy for you, so you know what it is. So if you can see my screen there, pop a thumbs up. That should have a beautiful picture of a Healy, and it should say Holistic Health. Awesome. All right, so what I'm going to do is tell you all about the company first, the science behind Healy, and then a little bit about Healy itself. So we'll crack on into that. So if you have any questions at all, I encourage you to pop them into the chat. Also pop into the chat what you're most interested about finding out about Healy today. So hopefully myself, Petra, or Chelsea can help you out with that. So Healy is an amazing, amazing tool that you can see them there on some of the girls' shirts. It's actually really, really tiny. It's a little wearable device. The technology comes from a company that is called Time Waver, and Time Waver has been around for about 15 years. And the man that invented Time Waver is the one you can see there on your screen on the left-hand side. And his name is Marcus. And he is an amazing man. He's a cross between, you know, a brainiac scientist and spiritual guru. He's actually a monk as well. So he's a beautiful person to bring a technology like this into the world. And the man that you can see on the right there, Christian, he was the money behind it. So Marcus took his idea to someone that was like in the conscious community connected, who could support a technology like this coming into the world. So Time Waver is the big brother of the little Healy. So 6 years of research brought some of the technologies from Time Waver into this little wearable device that we can use every single day to support ourselves on the cellular level. So thank you to Marcus and Christian for that. So the company that this device has come from is such a beautiful company, heart-centered. It's like a family, honestly. So that there on the screen, you can see what Healy's vision is. They're very, very clear about it. And it's to empower people to live healthy lives, fulfilled and conscious life, to inspire and grow global community, and to make a continuous and positive impact on humanity. Every single webinar they ever run, every speech you see Marcus do, it lights you up. It is such a beautiful company. And their mission is to create revolutionary products and opportunities to empower all of us, the members, to thrive a life full of freedom, passion, and joy. Who wants a little bit more freedom, passion, and joy? I certainly do. So thank you to Healy for that. And thank you for being an amazing, supportive company. So they have a holistic health advisory board behind all of their technology that they've brought to us through Healy. And here's some of the amazing people. And I know that Petra can attest to also that we both have a favorite on this screen. My first favorite is Nuno Nina, who's the first one, which I'll go into a bit later when we talk about some of the programs. But Carolyn McMakin there, she's amazing. And she's written a book that's called The Resonance Effect. And it just blows your mind. So if you're looking to learn a bit more when you bring your Healy into your life about resonance and bioresonance and how it can work in the body, that is a recommendation that I give. But all of these people here are really amazing, and they're constantly doing webinars to further educate us to support ourselves on that cellular level as well. So they've just given us some short facts here about the company itself and what's going on in the world with Healy. So Healy now, like 20 million times these applications have been used all across the world. There's about 250 professional users. So within our Healy family, not only is us, you're like everyday users, you've got remedial massage therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists, kinesiologists, naturopaths. It's just a beautiful array of wealth of knowledge to support us. So this device has actually been dropped into a social selling model. So what that means is that you don't just go and buy it off the shelf in a shop and then take it home and then go, oh, what do I do now? You buy it from us, and we all support each other how to use it and the technology behind the frequencies. So that's what I love about it, because if there's something going on for me and I want to run a particular program, I'm not sure what to run, I'm like, oh, Petra, can you please tell me what's good for XYZ? And, you know, if Petra doesn't know, someone else will. There's always someone there to help and support us to use this. So Healy is now in over 50 countries. They've just opened up in Canada and Korea, which is super exciting as well. So they're pretty high with their standard. This is German-made technology. We do have an Australian Healy corporate here in Western Australia and our warehouse down south on the East Coast. So it's created in collaboration with doctors and practitioners, and we have that holistic advisory board. As I said, it's made in Germany, and it's patent technology as well. All right, anything to add, Chelsea or Petra, before I move on to the device itself?
I just want to add on when you said, you know, we have the community to support us. And not only we have the community, I think that's the most important thing, is also everyone that's in the community have their own knowledge, right? So we have their own experience. So we are actually gathering knowledge together and we're supporting each other, which is really good. Just wanted to add.
Yeah, I love that. We really are. Even last night when we read our face-to-face event, Chelsea and I can both contest that we learnt more yet again.
Yeah, it's quite amazing. And I love that there's so much information on the Healy website for the customers to get access to as well. It's really quite amazing.
Yeah, super supportive. Thank you both. So I actually love this image so much. I found it today. And there's Einstein on the side, and he's saying the future of the medicine, medicine will be the medicine of frequencies. I feel that in my bones when I read that. Like it's so resonates with everything in my body. And the other one is Nikola Tesla. So if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of frequency, energy, and vibration. And the beautiful Petra that's on here can speak even more deeply into this. But that image in the middle, I love, because it's like the gateway in. So if you're just coming into this world, I'm so super proud that you're here and that you're getting curious about this sort of technology, because it really is the gateway or the bridge into something really, really special. Who else likes that image? I found it today and I'm like, oh yeah. All right, so Healy does come with a bit of a disclaimer, so you can read that one if you like. But the main thing is that we can't say that Healy can cure, treat, or diagnose any illness. It's here to support you at the cellular level. In the US, with the FDA, it's approved as a medical device. And here in Australia, our TGA is still working on catching up with the other countries, such as Europe, to bring those sorts of technologies more available to all of us. What did you say about it in Europe as well, Chelsea?
I believe Petra was saying that in Europe, they actually have their Healy devices in hospitals. Is that right, Petra?
So they can get it through the hospital, through the doctors, because in Europe, it's through the European Medical Board, it's actually approved as a medical device. So when you buy Healy, you have different editions like we have here. We're going to talk about that later. But you can also buy a medical device, Healy. So it has all the medical programs on that device, and it's called a medical device. So you can actually get it through the doctor. Where in US, they're still catching up as well, but it is approved through FDA as a medical device for chronic pain, fibromyalgia, sleep apnea, sleep disorders, anxiety, depression, as well as arthritis. Here in Australia, TGA currently approved it only for chronic pain, fibromyalgia, migraines, and skeletal pain. But we can't say that it does heal or cure or anything. It does support and balances your body. But the way I see it is, with the certificate or without, it's the same device. It actually has the same frequencies. But the way I see it is, anything in healing happens when we create an environment within our body. And Katie will talk about this before.
Yeah, thank you. So this image here I love because it shows the cells. And do we all want really to have healthy, beautiful, plump delicious cells like that green one you can see in the image there, right? So what Healy helps to do is it helps to bring the cells back to homeostasis or back to their natural state. So as you can see, as it goes up through the colors and the cell voltage lowers all the way up to creating a death cell or cancer cells or things like that, is the voltage within that cell lowers. So Healy actually gets in and works with biofeedback to bring that cell back to its natural state, to bring health back to it, to make it that healthy young cell again. So we have about 70 trillion of these cells in our body, and when they're in dis-ease or not balanced within the body, that's when we get things like inflammation and pain and emotional holding and all sorts of things going on within the body. So I'm going to pass it to my beautiful friends to explain that a bit more, because they're my sciencey gurus with regards to Healy. Me, not so much.
So when we are stressed, and like Kate said, we get to the unhealthy cells. So essentially, when we are in fight or flight mode, we increase our inflammation in our body. So that's where our cells start to deteriorate. And my understanding of what Healy does is to help bring balance back to those cells and try and get that cell back up to that young, healthy state. So it's really quite incredible. And the amazing thing about this is that it combines science, health, and the spiritual side of things too. So it really has a broad array of catering for a large mass of people.
Thank you, Chelsea. All right, this one here is just a little image to just explain the cells in the body. So our body is comprised of the several different layers. You know, when you cut your skin, and then there's, anyway, tissues and organs, and they're made up of cells, which we said there's over 70 trillion of those in the body. Within the cells, what makes a cell? Molecules. What makes a molecule? Atoms. So lower again. What makes an atom? Subatomic particles. And then we go down again. What makes subatomic particles? Energy, frequency, vibration. When the sound bowls are playing, if you go to a sound bowl healing, or if you hear a piece of music and it's uplifting, or if you yourself are resonant through your mouth and you're expressing through vocalization, and you can change how you're feeling within your body. Energy, frequency, and vibration, it comes from our information field. And now Petra's going to talk to you a little bit about that, because she's the guru on energy, frequency, and vibration, in my opinion.
So just a quick reminder, right? We live in this physical body, right? And we can touch it. But in reality, looking at quantum physics that has been working on this since the 80s, they have literally found out and done research and tests that we are literally 99.9999% empty space. So if we look at in the cell, between the atoms and neutrons that go around, right? If you look at it, this is how it was explained when I was reading the quantum, is the space between the nucleus and the atoms around it is like if you would be sitting at a huge baseball stadium at the top of the tribunes, and the atom would be a small rice grain in the middle of that field. This is how much space we have in our cells, right? So, and we are composed out of that space, and that space is the field, is the frequency. And the thing is, when we talk about the cells and the health of the cells, the energy is literally information. So when energy and electricity moves through the cells, what happens is our body it's like a language. Yeah. So our body knows what to do with that information. So it responds with hormones, with emotions, with certain things in our bodies. And that all is a language on the outside for us to understand. But for the body, the main language is energy, frequency, and vibration. This is how our body responds to everything in life. And that's why I love Healy, is because we don't need to understand it with a 3D brain, which is kind of like 1/100 of what energy really is. we can actually trust that vibration, and we learn the language through Healy and coming back to our body. And when we use the frequency and all these frequencies, because we live in a technology world, right? We have frequencies everywhere. There's frequencies that can be harmful to our body, but there's also frequencies that are actually harmonic and beneficial for our body. So what Healy does, it actually gives us that harmonic frequencies, which our body, our cells understand as, you know, wow, that's a party, right? So then your cells start dancing in your body instead of actually being lazy and depressed and not moving, right? So we're going to see that later. But that's kind of how I see what's happening within our bodies and how we can use this frequency. And the field of frequency is so vast that even looking at Healy, and it has 144,000 currently different frequencies, it's just a fraction of that, of the entire field. But this is just the basics of the frequency in my body. So the basics is Healy makes your cells dance, and that's all you need to know.
Yeah, that's such a good analogy. I love it. Brought a smile to my face. That's a little bit more information there if you're really into the science side of it. And I could read that to you, but I think that Petra has just described it so beautifully, as in that Healy just makes your cells dance. This one's just going into the increased amino acid transport within the body, the increased protein synthesis within the body, and the increased APT production. The ATP is that energy within the cell. All right, there's another beautiful image that sort of talks into this a bit. So this is my thing that I love, right? I'm all about energy and energy centers within the body, or they call it chi, or some people call it prana. And you see that beautiful yin yang symbol there, as we crave in daily life to bring balance in all areas. And we've got the white side, which is, you know, the feminine, the dark side, which is the masculine. And then you've got the white and the black in the middle. So this is just always constantly bringing balance to the body. Healy also helps with that, with the microcurrent, with the frequencies, with the different way that you can use the device. There's also 3 different ways that you can wear the device. So you can wear it just remotely, like it is there on Chelsea's top. You can wear it with little ear clips on your ears. You can wear it with little wrist straps onto your wrists. Or you can also, there's little sticky pads for isolated pain if you're targeting a specific area within the body. So there's lots of different ways that you can wear it as well. So in scientific terms, it's got there is an information flow on the quantum level. So it brings our body back into balance, brings our cells back into balance. So there's Nikola Tesla again, and there's Marcus Schmieke on the other side, and he's saying, all matter consists of energy vibrating at different frequencies, like Petra was talking into. Therefore, Healy technology is based on my belief that electromagnetic fields vibrating at quantum analyzed frequencies can provide the body with information to make our cells dance. He didn't say that. These specific frequencies can take the biogenic field of the body to a state of higher order, manifesting itself into holistic health, well-being, and vitality, aka making our cells dance. Thank you, Healy. All right, so this here, I'm going to get you to describe that slide for me, please, Petra, because you're really good at describing how it works to actually analyze and biofeedback while it's doing its thing.
No worries. I'll try to make it in like a few sentences so we don't go too wide. Why I'm saying this, because the information field, which is, if you look at on the left side, which is analyzing our information field, is if imagine yourself, the field that you don't see, as a huge, vast library, and then you walk into that library and there's millions and millions of books, and you get overwhelmed, right? You don't know where to start. You don't know where to go. You're after certain information, but you don't know where to go, right? So we can do that on our own if we get trained, and we do that for a long time. With practice, we can do that. But if you're just starting out and you want to actually find a way to balance your body and actually get that right book in a short amount of time and learn how to use your body with frequency, Healy is your bridge. Yeah. So Healy has two options. One is analyzing your field, which goes around you and within you. Yeah. And the other one is actually analyzing your cellular level. Yeah. So there's both analyzing your energetics either way. Yeah. So just giving you your 3D brain a bit of a separation. And not only it analyzes and actually tells you back what your body needs, literally through a list. Yeah. Sometimes can be shocking, even for me. And I've been working with energy since I was 7 years old. And I can see energy and I can feel energy. And sometimes, even for me, it's shocking how accurate it can be. Then this list of frequency that Healy actually senses and analyzes, and then you can deliver those frequencies either into your field, meaning that now you're saying, okay, I don't like this frequency, it's out of balance, so I'm just going to deliver something to make it balance. So my field gets clearer, my field gets more balanced, I feel better for that. Yeah. Or you deliver it, like Katie said before, through ear clips or your microcurrent application, which actually tells your cells, gives your cells an information what to do in your body in order to bring your body back to balance. So this is few sentences, but this is kind of how it works, simplified.
Beautifully described. Thank you so much. And it really isn't that complicated. The beauty of it, all this information that we're sharing with you tonight, you don't actually need to know all of this because your Healy runs off your smartphone. So it's application based. So all you have is 2 applications or apps, and one runs the microcurrent straps, the other runs the vibrating or scanning option. So that's as simple as it actually gets. So we've said that frequencies are the language of the universe, and that's how we communicate with the mind, body, and soul. So having Healy is helping us to communicate with ourselves on that cellular level too, which is so beautiful. That's what I love the most about it, actually. So it's a personal wearable device, and it analyzes over 9 million frequencies. And like Petra was just talking into, it selects the ones that are best going to harmonize your own personal biogenic field. Because as we know, not one of us is the same. We're also individual, also different. So whatever biogenic support you need in your life, there is pretty much a Healy application for it. So down the right-hand side there, you can see just only a smidgen snippet of the magnitude of programs and frequencies that this beautiful little device has. So we'll just read quickly through them. We've got the physical programs, mental, emotional, meridians within your body, chakras, which is your energy centers. There's learning programs, beauty, so skin, elasticity, smoothness, fitness, stamina, endurance, muscle recovery, things like that. Wealth, you've got abundance, manifestation programs, focus, connection, relationship, and productivity. Pretty cool. That's only just a snippet. Now, this amazing image here, on the left-hand side there, you can see the cells of the body, and they're sort of all just clumped together, just doing their thing. Now, this might be the cells of someone who perhaps is having a lot of inflammation within their body. They might have a virus or something at the moment, so all the cells are in a bit of like dis-ease or dysfunction, so they're all sort of sticking together, and there's a lot of inflammation there. What the second image shows, and there's actually a YouTube video, so we can drop that into the post of this event so that you can watch the real live YouTube video. This is fascinating. That shows that after only 1 program on a Healy or 1 hour on a Healy, the cells on this left-hand side actually come out, the spaciousness in between, and look at them, they're plump, they're round, they're juicy, they're hydrated, and they're able to integrate that frequency a whole lot more. So that is proof in the pudding that what we've got in the tip of our fingers to empower ourselves in our own homes is absolutely fascinating technology. So if you do want to purchase a Healy, there are so many different options that you can buy. And this here is a snippet of all the different programs of the Healy. So starting up there at the Resonance Plus, the actual hardware itself, so that device Chelsea was holding up before on the screen, or the one in on the picture there, that hardware does not change. It's just the programs or the software that changes. So the Resonance Plus model there, it is 124 programs and 4 different modules. And it shows you there that one line, so where it says, say, chakras on the Resonance Plus, there's 7 chakra programs within that one. So it can get very complicated. So make sure that you chat with the person that brought you to this call, or even ask questions at the end to find out more about what you specifically need, because which model you decide to bring into your life 100% is about what you actually need or what you're looking to support within either your own life or your immediate family's life as well. So there is this Resonance Plus does aura analysis scans too, chakra scans. It also does resonance scans. There is one model above all of those that is the be all and end all at the moment. It's got every single program. It's 229 programs and 6 modules. It's mind blowing. Chelsea just got hers this week, and we've been playing around with it, but it does every single thing you could possibly imagine, and all the scanning as well. So if you're wanting to know specifically about the models, the programs, what your body needs, chat to us. You can also customize your Healy to specifically run for things that you need. You can add on animal programs. There's all sorts of things you can do with your Healy, nutrition. But the good thing about Healy at the moment, if you're wanting to bring it into your life, is that there's different options and different ways to bring it in. So Healy teamed up with a company called PayRight, which is, if you're from Australia, an Australian-owned interest-free company that does payment plans. So those prices that you saw on the screen were the full amount. At the moment, till the end of the month, it's 50% off those prices, and there's payment plans as well. So before I switched to the questions, is there anything else that yourself, Petra, or Chelsea would like to add before we open it up to questions? They're both on mute. Hey.
Hi, sorry. As Katie mentioned at the start, I'm like new to Zoom, so please bear with me. I have actually only been using Healy for a really short time, and I have found it quite incredible so far. And a lot of my clients, I'm a remedial massage therapist, and a lot of my clients may have seen on Facebook that I have been kind of journaling my journey a little bit too along the way. So earlier in the year, I got quite ill with ophthalmic shingles, which is shingles in your eye, and that affects a quarter of your face in terms of your nerve and inner ear. So while this has been going, I'm actually having a bit of a rough day. My ear has been popping and my eyes a bit fatigued. So I've been targeting that particular condition, which I've had for about 8 months now, with Healy, and I'm starting to notice a huge improvement with my vision. So being someone who's new at this, I'm still kind of learning everything as well, and I have a lot of questions, and it's just been amazing so far. And my husband sort of started out a bit skeptic and then ended up going, I think you're actually onto something. And that's how he supported me getting the professional, because my goal is to learn as much as I can, as fast as I can. And these ladies are helping me do that. So thank you so much, Petra and Kate, because I want to share this with my clients. And unfortunately, I've got clients that are just a bit lost, and they've been on so many medications that, it's a bit rough. And I would love to be able to support them with Healy and encourage them to just try a few programs and rebalance. And, it's just been incredible for me personally so far. So I'm happy to answer any questions that I can with the knowledge that I have so far. But honestly, Petra and Kate, thank you so much for your support and guidance. It's just been incredible. And I'm not going to cry.
Thank you, Chelsea. Beautiful.
Beautiful, Chelsea. We do have a question from Ivana.
Yes.
She's asking if the resonance program have chakra program too, or only the resonance plus. And also, if you start in a lower model, can you upgrade to professional over time? I think this is going to be beneficial for everyone anyway.
Yeah, definitely. So you can definitely start with, say, resonance. The resonance model has the resonance scanning. So you can do, you can scan. So when aura analysis and chakra scan isn't on it, Ivana, but resonance scanning is. So this is being able to scan Australian bush flowers, Bach flowers, I Ching, your Akashic records, homeopathics. Petra can probably add heaps more in. There's a myriad of amazing scans that you can do for your body on there. And you can also see as well, if you are wanting to know how can I support my body today, you can run a resonance scan on your body to see which programs you want to run in your Pink Dot app with your straps to do the specific microcurrent programs. If you did want to upgrade at a later stage, the upgrades are about the same price as the half price at the moment, because the upgrades aren't discounted. But if that's the price point you can come in at, that's the price point you can come in at. While it's 50% off at the moment, though, if you can push the budget a little bit more, grab it at the higher one, because you're going to have significant savings than messing around with the upgrades later on.
I would also add on that. I agree. Like, I find that my budget was really limited 2 years and 2.5, well, 2 years and not 2 years now, since Katie and I entered the market of Healy, because back then literally we couldn't get it in Australia. We were waiting for a long time, and I stretched my budget for the resonance, which was literally between resonance and resonance plus, so we do have the aura in there. But I would highly recommend to get the resonance, because it actually gives you a tool in order to scan your body physically, emotionally, energetically, to understand what your body really needs. And you don't have to think about it. You literally scan and it will give you the right answers. And when you run the programs, your body will respond to it. So if you can stretch the budget, get the Healy of the resonance program, so you can scan yourself. But if you don't, of course, you can start an upgrade. But right now with the promotion, like, it's actually cheaper than I paid 3 years ago.
Yes, I paid $4,000 for mine, which I didn't have at the time. I borrowed it from my good old mum. But it was technology that I wanted in my life. And I absolutely, and Ivana knows this, and I'm obsessed with the aura analysis and chakra scan modules on the Healy. They get so specific and so intimate. And I could see a question there from Carolyn, which is about wealth. The coaching programs on the Resonance Plus and the Professional are the ones that help you with your wealth, because they are actually get in to your subtle energy field and tell you where your blocks are. And you can actually use frequency to clear your emotional and blocks that are, you know, when you're standing in your own way and like success is in front of you, but that's just you standing there blocking yourself. It just tells you, like Petra was saying earlier, sometimes it's quite confronting. You read it out and you're like, damn you, Healy. So there's another question.
Are the upgrades one-off or monthly subscriptions?
Upgrades are a one-off. Monthly subscriptions are different. So if you want to get, I think there was a slide on what you can get as subscriptions. Yeah, they're the different subscriptions that you can add on should you choose to start with one of the lower models and just buy. So Ivana, that's actually what you can do, is you can get the resonance and you can just buy aura analysis and chakra scan, but it actually works out to $51.50 a month. So I think you can cancel it at any stage, but you know, if you're going to love it and use it all the time, then $51.50 a month is going to add up to what you would have paid to get the bigger device anyway. Thank you for your beautiful, kind words, Ivana.
Can I ask everyone, is everybody familiar with frequency and energy in their life? Is this something that you are like really keen on, or are you a bit scared of this and how this works on the body? Would love to know. Yeah, it does make sense about the upgrade, for sure.
You're welcome to unmute should you want to talk into that. I'm going to get the upgrade prices for you.
I think I might have those here. I'll just have a quick look.
I'll just put the link in.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So
Katie
Beck,
May.
oh,
No, it's okay. She's just saying that she's using a Healy, so
yeah.
she's all in.
Also the beautiful Beck that's on the call here. Thank you so much for joining us, Beck. Beck got her professional probably about 2-3 weeks ago now. How's yours going? Are you able to chat?
Hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's been really wow factor, to be honest. I started writing everything down in a book, just noticing all the changes that are going within. Sorry, I'm on my phone because my computer is not working. But totally just within myself, my emotions are all in check. I feel calmer, like sleeping really well, waking up just with that zing. But yeah, it's been awesome. And even after going to the dentist the other day, I put the electro pads on my jaw just to help reduce any pain. And yeah, wow. Yeah, I can't say how amazingly it is, Healy.
Well, I think we're all a bit the same.
But skepticism is still real in my house with my partner. One day he'll use it.
They come along. They come along.
Yes,
I get there.
Yes. Exactly.
Neuralgia. Thank you so much, Beck, for sharing. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, that's okay.
And
but, was it Ivana or someone said, I think it's worth, well, it's 50% off, going for the highest one, because I got the professional plus.
Yeah, you did. You went all in. That was pretty cool.
I just went all out. That was it.
Thank you so much for sharing. Now, we've also got Katie May on here that uses Healy and has for quite some time. What is your favorite thing about Healy, Katie?
Hi, Katie. Thank you. Hi, everyone. What an amazing presentation you've done tonight.
Thank you.
I've just shared with you the first time that spontaneously the person who sponsored me into Healy, she'd been talking about it for a little while, and she rang me one day and said, how about a chakra scan? I said, yeah, go for it. So it was unplanned. And she did the aura chakra analysis. And as it turns out, with the way the Healy is being packaged at the moment, you have resonance, which is a scanning option or an analysis option. Then you have the chakra aura scanning option. And then you have this new coaching model, which I don't have. So I need to look at some of the upgrades.
Yeah.
But just that morning, at that time, I used to do a daily meditation on my chakras, and I felt a niggle in my throat chakra. First thing that came up on the Healy was my throat chakra. So that was very interesting to go into the analysis of that. So she ran the program, told me to go about my business for the day, happy days. I did the same meditation that I did each morning, and that niggle in my throat had clearly moved on. So that was proof to me that that energy block that was going on there had been dissipated through the frequencies. And yeah, it was, well, you know, I had to have it, didn't I?
Oh, I love it so much. And the chakra thing's so good for guidance too. I said sometimes, you know, you want to do the inner work and you're like, but where do I start? You know, but I want to do the things. And Healy just tells you exactly like, oh, okay, I need to do a lot of root chakra work.
Yeah, so one of my favorite programs, and it was my first taste of it. And I can honestly say I don't think I've looked back, and I'm just learning every.
Yeah, yeah. And did you say one of the other girls that's on the call is quite new to Healy as well?
Yeah, so Julie, who's jumped on, and she's first for a scan yesterday, and she did find that very insightful, very real. Probably is still digesting some of that. So maybe you could talk to that, Katie, like when we do find out what the Healy does reveal about us, how we can interpret that.
That's really good point, actually. So Healy, you know, it gives us this, you know, sometimes a bit of a statement where you're like, oh, like, okay. So what we need to do is use it just as an awareness. So as we know, within any healing work that we do, awareness is the first step to change. So sometimes we can read that, we can go, does that resonate with me? Does that not resonate with me? Oh, yeah, that cuts quite deep. If it's triggering us quite significantly, perhaps it's the shadow in us that we've been pushing aside for years and years and years. Of like, you just stay over there, please. I don't want to deal with you right now. But the good thing about it is Healy is so good that you don't have to do the talk therapy about the shadow. Sometimes it will just sometimes use the frequency to shift a little bit of that for you, to bring it a little bit into the light, so that when you do that inner work on yourself, or you do want to visit it, it just gets easier and easier and easier. And, you know, there's a supportive, beautiful Healy family that can make that shadow not so scary anymore. And it's really, really important, and the other girls can probably chirp in with this one as well, is not to attach story to it. Because if we go attaching story to the aura analysis and chakra scan, like I'd be a blibbering mess on the floor crying in my hallway. And Marcus had come home, my husband from work, he's like, what is wrong with you? The aura scan, it told me my father doesn't love me. You know, so it does get quite intimate. It does get right into your subtle energy field, and it really does. Sometimes it's a bit raw.
So I actually really, because Katie, I know that you love the aura scan. Like Katie's all over it, and I'm a Reiki practitioner master, so I know very much about all the chakras and that sort of thing. But I'm still learning how to navigate through that app. Whereas the resonance side of things, resonates with me, because I'm also all about the health and side of things. So what I love about it is I'll go, okay, well, I'm just going to flick through and go, okay, which programs would best suit me today for my health? And it will go, okay, eyes, nerve, hormones, and all of this list. And I'm like, holy crap. Yes. And I had an experience a few weeks ago, because that's my main concern at the moment. So Ivana, I know that you were asking about neuralgia. I have postherpetic neuralgia. So at the moment, I've just been trying to manage those symptoms, which is lack of vision, that nerve pain, my brain function sometimes isn't fantastic, and my hearing as well. So I'm just working on the symptoms at the moment, but I really need to be focusing on the underlying cause. So boosting my immune system, and there's an immune system function in there as well, which is amazing. So my priority has been that, and I did a scan through the Resonance app a few weeks ago, and that came up, but I was actually having really bad indigestion to the point where I could have just screamed. So I went, okay, well, I'm going to do a different one. And everything came up, gastrointestinal, food sensitivities. It just is so accurate. So not only do you have the ability with a particular edition to do the emotional or spiritual side of things, if you're not interested in that, with the resonance, you can actually just focus on the health side of things, and it picks up your frequency to essentially tell you what you need right now. So even though in my mind, it's like a mind reader, I'm like, yes, nerves, eyes, that's what I need to sort out. It just picks it up from your frequency. Like, you just can't believe it. I love it. And that's why I had a Resonance Plus, and I ended up doing the pay right version to get the professional, because I want to utilize all the nutrition side of things as well. So it's just awesome, and I can't recommend it enough so far. So.
And you also used it to get rid of a migraine that you were having as well, because I'd love to hear about your migraine story.
Yeah, so obviously with my vision side of things and fluoros, I have been getting more frequent migraines, which isn't helpful when I run my own business and have to work all the time. So there is actually, in the Resonance program under local stimulation, there is a list of ones which have your migraine, anxiety, depression, chronic back pain, chronic pain, jaw and tooth pain, and I think there's another one in there as well. So I just hooked up the ear clips for the migraine program, which was 20 minutes. And it's funny because you can feel it, the frequency going into your ears. And it essentially, when I get a migraine, it's like I kind of get into that whole postherpetic neuralgia thing. It affects half of my face and the nerves along there. So it's really quite brutal. What it did, it lifted the pain, lifted the fog, and allowed me to kind of identify why I was getting a migraine. So I could feel that my vertebrae was out in my neck, and that would have been part of the contributing factor to me getting that migraine. So it kind of lifted the pain and lifted that cloud to enable me to go, oh, okay, this is actually a joint pain, a joint issue. So I could then run the local joint directly on my neck. So that was quite amazing because it was only a 20-minute cycle, but just very fatigued after, because migraines wipe you out. So it was just unbelievable.
Thank you for sharing that. I like that, because sometimes when we're in a little bit of pain, wherever that might be in our body, we forget that we've got these beautiful holistic healing tools at our hands. And sometimes, you know, we share with someone, oh, I've got the just achy shoulders. I'm like, oh, have you used Healy? And they're like, oh, yeah. And, you know, get it out and you've sorted yourself out. So it's beautiful to be empowered to have these tools at your fingertips to be able to utilize. Does anyone have any other questions they'd like to?
Beck is asking if ear clips are used for certain programs. Yes. So Healy will always guide you, right? So you are never alone with Healy. First of all, Healy programs, apps are actually created for you to follow. So they will actually give you like photos and instructions of how you apply the bracelets, or you apply your I always call them ear drops. I don't know why. Ear clips. I don't know why they feel like a drop. Or you have the sticky pads as well that you could use. So it will always tell you either to use the bracelets or you can use something else. You will have the instructions in the app. And also, I would like to add on that as well. Like for me, I started Healy because I love energy. So I used to work, like my whole life was energy. I started seeing, I had visions into the future since I was 7 years old. I started seeing energy colors and textures and things like that. I saw, like, I can see auras, I can see, you know, source energies, I can feel emotions, different textures and things like that. And for me, working as a coach and helping others, it was really hard to describe for someone what I feel and what I see through the textures of energy, because the language in energy is completely different than the physical language that we use. And for me, it was really hard to find the right words to actually describe what I was feeling and seeing for someone that I was working with. And when I found Healy, Healy was like immediately my whole body was like, this is what I was looking for. It's a huge bridge for anyone learning about themselves. And I actually started so 2 years ago, I was quite fatigued because my partner and I moved to Australia. We were working a lot, like literally 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, as you do when you move to a completely different continent with 5 suitcases and leave your life behind. And my adrenals were completely smashed. And I started using Healy for the first month. And I was, back then, the procedures of the, you know, the beginning usage of Healy were quite different. So back then we still were using like a month of gold cycles, and I was literally a month on gold cycles, and I could see huge improvements. And I was like, oh my God, this is remarkable. And I do my own energetic healing. Yeah. So I do healings on myself every single day. And what I found is the benefit that this was giving me, that I was not needing to do that on my own all the time. I had a tool to support me, and I could choose to combine it with my own knowledge. And it's something that I'm really, really passionate about. It's something that we could use in our life, not as a patch tool or, you know, a magic pill, because it doesn't do that, right? This is quantum physics, and quantum physics in energy world works on our intention. So whatever we focus on, we use Healy to multiply it, to actually expand it. And that's where I find the most benefit with. And I've been using Healy with teeth, which was another one that Beck was saying before. My partner and I had surgery, so teeth surgery this year for a month. So my partner actually got rid of 12 mercury fillings, and he had 3 surgeries. So he lost 7 teeth, and they got removed, surgically removed. I lost 2 because we had root canals, so we had to let them go. But the most remarkable thing that I've noticed is when we were using Healy after surgery, I didn't use any painkillers after surgery. Yeah. And yes, of course, I had a local anesthetic, but when that actually starts letting go, the pain kicks in. I did not use a tablet. Yeah. So for me, Healy was a tool to actually help heal. And the remarkable thing is our teeth actually healed properly. So the blood clot formed properly. The healing of the jaw went faster than normal. And even our dentist said, wow, what are you doing? So, and it's really interesting to observe how, you know, someone that uses energy on a daily basis can actually use a tool and benefit from it either way. And that's something that I'm really, really excited about. So yeah, just passionate about this little device overall.
Thank you so much, everyone, for your stories, because it's so good to actually hear and how Healy is working within people's lives. And there is this beautiful group, and I did drop the link into this, but it's also in ours as well. And it's called The Frequency Experience, and it's actually got testimonials from literally thousands and thousands of people. So you can type any struggle that you're having into that group, and you'll see firsthand experiences that people have done, programs they've tried, the success or not success that they've had with particular programs. Healy is so powerful that sometimes, you know, you can go, it can detox your body a bit at the start, and you can actually get a little bit worse before you get better. But you've got this supportive community that's dropped into to help guide you through that. So should you have any more further questions after our call here tonight, connect back in with the person that brought you along to this call, to your Healy team, to our groups, because there's so much support out there. And that we would love to individually thank you all so much for coming along, taking your precious time to join us tonight to learn more about this amazing little device that we call Healy. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.